Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
How was yesterday? Sorry, I could not join.
Went well, Prabhuji.
All word. Sumit
Yeah,
Prabhu.
we actually discussed about different personalities.
So we can continue Bhagavatam today, no?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Babuji.
Okay.
Yeah, we yesterday we had a good session regarding the glorification of Madhvendra Puri, Rupa Goswami, and Balvedya Vidyabhushan. So all the devotees glorified. Yeah, we can proceed with the shlokas today.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayat Nastaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam चैतन्यमीश्वरं परमानन्दमाधवम् ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणि निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणि जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shripadaya Krishna Prasthaya Krishna. Hare Krishna, devotees, thank you for joining Bhagavatam discussion. So we'll continue Bhagavatam today. Reading from Canto 2, Chapter 4, Text 5. Who's going to read? Anybody allocated?
I think we have to read the fifth text, right, Prabhuji? Chapter
Yeah,
4, fifth text.
correct.
Sixth is mine. I think fifth someone else has to read.
Okay, nobody is there. Anyone, please unmute yourself and start. No problem. Sridev Mataji, who is supposed to read 5? Okay, whoever, please go ahead, read. Let's not waste time.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna.
शीला प्रभुपाद की जय। राजोवाका
Vacha.
वाचा राजोवाचा समीसीनं वाको ब्रह्मं
Vacho. In Sanskrit,
वाक्यो ब्रह्मं
P stands for cha.
च
Vacho.
वाचो सर्व शस्य
Tavanagha.
तवनघ तमो विश you'll have to help me Prabhuji.
Visharyate.
तमो विसरते माह्यम हरे कथायत काथायम कथम.
See, Sanskrit, the C stands for cha, and wherever on the alphabet above line is there is dirgha. There is, for example, this is tava naga, tava.
Tava naga.
So it comes like this, Mataji. Rajovacha samichinam vacho brahman sarvajyasya tavanaka tamo vishiryate mahyam harer katayata katam. Like that it comes.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you, Hare Krishna Mataji. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Maharaja Parikshit said, "O learned Brahma, you know everything because you are without material contamination. Therefore, whatever you have spoken to me appears perfectly right. Your speeches are gradually destroying the darkness of my ignorance. You are narrating the topics of the Lord. The practical experience of Maharaja Parikshit is disclosed herein, revealing that transcendental topics of the Lord act like injections when received by the sincere devotee from a person who is perfect, perfectly uncontaminated by material tingers. In other words, reception of the uncontaminated by material tinges. Material tinges. In other words, reception of the messages reception of the messages of Srimad Bhagavatam from professional men heard by karma kandya audience never acts miserably as stated here.
Miraculously.
Mi- Miraculously are stated here. Devotional hearing of the messages of the Lord is not like hearing ordinary topics. Therefore, the action will be felt by the sincere hearer by experience of the gradual disappearance of the ignorance. Yeah. Mataji, will you be able to help me with the?
Deve para bhaktir yatha deve tatha guru tasye kahita hi artaha prakashante mahatmanah.
When a hungry man is given food to eat, he feels
Satyam.
satiation of hunger and the pleasure of dining simultaneously. Thus, he does not have to ask whether he has actually been fed or not. The crucial test of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is that one should get positive enlightenment by such an act.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
So, Parishit Maharaj addressing Sukadeva Goswami here. Sukadeva Goswami, he says, Raja Vacha, means Parishit Maharaj is talking. O learned Brahmana, you know everything because you are without material contamination. So, again, when glorifying Sukadeva Goswami, Parishit Maharaj says, you know everything because you are without any material contamination. So, as a practice in devotees, whenever our contamination reduces, knowledge comes. Whenever there is ignorance goes, knowledge comes. So that's a simple, test. The more contamination reduces, the more knowledge comes. Otherwise, spirituality is not something mental knowledge. I mean, I can maybe study so many books, make so many PhDs, but doesn't make any sense in the prosper spirituality. Spirituality is a simple knowledge. If you look at the simple knowledge required, that who I am, who is Lord, that's all. If I am understand that I am the dasa, Lord is Param Purushottam Bhagavanta, my duty is to simply serve him. If this knowledge is there, enough for me, nothing else required. But I have so much contamination, I have so much pride, I have so much ignorance. So that's why I have to remove that. Therefore, Parishit Maharaj says, therefore, whatever you have spoken to me appears perfectly right. So the person who has perfect knowledge, whatever he speaks is perfect. Whatever, the simple corporate world, ego, garbage in, garbage out. But if you get good thing in good only come out. So the hear properly. In the previous verses, we heard that, we should hear attentively. And that's a biggest challenge today. People have no sense of hearing. They, as soon as they hear one thing, they'll speak 100 things. They don't even understand what your other person talking. So they don't even listen. There's a question of listening and hearing. So they just want to speak. So, and they want to give their own way of interpretation without understanding what other person is going to say. So that's why Prabhupada says your speeches are gradually destroying the darkness. So that is what happen. When I hear the glories of Krishna, my darkness has to get destroyed. The contamination in my heart should get destroyed. That remove my ignorance, and that's the topics of Lord Krishna. That's why we have to hear the topics of Krishna. The hearing should happen continuously, non-stop. So that's why Sadata Kirtayantama. Why should I always, do Kirtan and always should do Shravan. Shravana Kirtan should happen non-stop. Prabhupada writes, the practical experience of Maharaj Parikshit is disclosed herein, revealing the transcendental topics of the Lord like an actor injection when received by a sincere devotee. So sometime we may not know what is that, inside the syringe, what doctor is going to give. But it is medicine, it's going to work. I need not know the components of the medicine. I will not know what chemical is used. But the given by a right qualified doctor, it will work. Similarly, the topics of the Lord, the holy name and glories of the Lord, given by a pure devotee, a spiritual master, and a purified person, it will work like an injection to a diseased person. It will immediately purify, immediately remove the disease. I need not know the more content of it. I simply have to take the injection. I simply hear. Pibata Bhagavata Rasamalayam. The Acharyas, Bhagavatam says, Pibata. Hear Bhagavatam through the ears. We cannot, drink through the ears, but Bhagavatam has to be drunk through the ears. Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam. That's why Prabhupada says, Srimad Bhagavatam professional men we should avoid. Because professional men's purpose is always to make money or attract more people and sense enjoyment. That is not the purpose of a devotee. The devotee purpose is to transform the other's heart. That's why Prabhupada always was straight. He will not mince a word. He will not say, okay, do whatever you want to do. No. He'll say, follow 4 regular principles, chant 16 rounds. Don't work like a donkeys and asses. That's he was very straight. So similarly, of course, sometime we have to time, place, circumstances. We'll have to, and at least mellow down some, but we have to give the fact. I cannot concoct my statement. I cannot make wrong statement. I have to be very, very clear and straight. Message of Bhagavatam should be given as it is. Or message of Bhagavad Gita should be given as it is. If Krishna says that you are Mudha, yes, I am Mudha. I am fool number 1. That's the fact I should understand. But sometimes we cannot stay directly, but somehow we have to pass the message. Like medicine, the capsule, outside look very nice, but inside that medicine is there. Similarly, you have to sugar coat and give them so that they take the medicine. Of course, not they, me. So I should get purified. My disease should get purified. That's why Prabhupada says the actions will be felt by sincere hearer by experience of gradual disappearance of ignorance. My ignorance has to be gradual disappear. Overnight may not happen, but should disappear my ignorance. That's what should happen. Prabhupada quotes from Upanishads here. When a hungry man is given a food to eat, he feels satiation of hunger and pleasure of dining. So similarly, when we hear the glories, naturally satisfaction will be there. And also my ignorance gets removed. That purification happens naturally. So the more time I spend to hear the glories, the more purification happens. But of course, hearing is attentive hearing, not for the sake of hearing. Finally, Prabhupada says the crucial test to hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is that one should get positive enlightenment by such an act. So somebody is in bhakti for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, but nothing happens. That means something wrong. I'm not hearing properly. I'm not paying attention to what I'm hearing. That's why transformation doesn't happen. I should take a firm decision. The transformation means I should take action towards, improve my bhakti, whether taking initiation or taking next step, doing more services, whatever it is. I should, express myself. I should come forward. I should be visible to the devotees and Krishna, how I am improving myself. I mean, that doesn't mean that I should show off. Huh? Bhakti is not for show off. I mean, that transformation should happen in my heart. That's what I require. Achar prachar should happen. So that's why the chanting, number of round chanting, how much time I spend for reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, how much time I, spend for preaching others, how much I spend time to distribute books, prashadam. This is what I should, how much I'm donating. This is where I should improve. Then my transformation happens. That's why Prabhupada says my ignorance should reduce so that I can, become closer to Krishna. Okay, next sloka, 6. Yeah, sloka 6 comes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Text 6. Bhuya eva vivitsami Bhagavan Atma Mayaya Yatedam Srijate Vishwam Durvibhavyam Adishwaraihi. Translation and purport by Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation, I beg to know from you, know the personality of Godhead by his personal energies creates these phenomenal universes as they are, which are inconceivable even to the great demigods. Purport. In every inquisitive mind, the important question of the creation of the phenomenal world arises, and therefore, for a personality like Maharaja Parikshit, who was to know all the activities of the Lord from his spiritual master, such an inquiry is not uncommon. For every unknown thing, we have to learn and inquire from a learned personality. The question of creation is also one of such inquiries to be made to the right person. The spiritual master, therefore, must be one who is Sarvajna, as stated herein before, in connection with Sukadev Goswami. Thus, all inquiries on God which are unknown to the disciple may be made from the qualified spiritual master, and here the practical example is set by Maharaj Parikshit. It was, however, already known to Maharaj Parikshit that everything we see is born out of energy of the Lord, as we have all learned in the very beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, Janmade Asya Yata. So Maharaja Parikshit Janmadi Asya Yata. So Maharaj Parikshit wanted to know the process of creation. The origin of creation was known to him, otherwise, he would not have inquired how the personality of Godhead, by his different energies, creates this phenomenal world. The common man also knows that the creation is made by some creator and not created automatically. We have no experience in the practical world that a thing is created automatically. Foolish people say that the creative energy is independent and acts automatically as electrical energy works. But the intelligent man knows that even the electrical energy is generated by an expert engineer in the localized powerhouse, and thus the energy is distributed everywhere under the resident engineer's supervision. The Lord's supervision in connection with creation is mentioned even in Bhagavad Gita 9.10, and it is clearly said there that material energy is a manifestation of one of many such energies of Supreme. Parasya Saktir Vividaiva Shruyate. An inexperienced boy may be struck with wonder by seeing the impersonal actions of electronics or many other wonderful things conducted by electrical energy. But an experienced man knows that behind the action is a living man who creates such energy. Similarly, the so-called scholars and philosophers of the world may, by mental speculation, present so many utopian theories about the impersonal creation of the universe, but an intelligent devotee of the Lord, by studying the Bhagavad Gita, can know that behind the creation is the hand of the Supreme Lord, just as in the generating electrical powerhouse there is a resident engineer. The research scholar finds out the cause and the effect of everything, but research scholars as great as Brahma, Shiva, Indra, and many other demigods are sometimes bewildered by seeing the wonderful creative energy of the Lord. So, what to speak of the tiny mundane scholars dealing in petty things? As there are differences in the living conditions of different planets of the universe, and as one planet is superior to others, the brains of the living entities in those respective planets are also of different categorical values. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, one can compare the long duration of life of the inhabitants of Brahma's planet, which is inconceivable to the inhabitants of this planet Earth, to the categorical value of the brain of Brahmaji, so inconceivable to any great scientist of this planet. And with such high brain power, even Brahmaji has described in his great Samhita, Brahma Samhita 5.1 as follows. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karuna Karana. There are many personalities possessing the qualities of Bhagavan, but Krishna is the supreme because none can excel him. He is the supreme person and his body is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. He is the primeval Lord Govinda and the cause of all causes. Brahmaji admits Lord Krishna to be the supreme cause of all causes. But persons with tiny brains within this petty planet, Earth, think of the Lord as one of them. Thus, when the Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita that He, Lord Krishna, is all in all, the speculative philosophers and the mundane wranglers deride Him, and the Lord regretfully says, Avajananti mamam
Ma-
modha
Manushim Tanun Ashritam.
manushim tanum ashritam param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature and my supreme dominion over all that be. Bhagavad Gita 9.11. Brahma and Shiva, and what to speak of other demigods, are bhutas or powerful created demigods who manage universal affairs, much like ministers appointed by a king. The ministers may be Ishwaras or controllers, but the Supreme Lord is Maheshwara or the creator of the controllers. Persons with a poor fund of knowledge do not know this, and therefore they have the audacity to deride him because he comes before us by his causeless mercy, occasionally as a human being. The Lord is not like a human being. He is Sachidananda Vigraha or the absolute personality of Godhead, and there is no difference between his body and his soul. He is both the power and the powerful. Maharaj Parikshit did not ask his spiritual master Sukadev Goswami to narrate Lord Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavana. He wanted to hear first about the creation of the Lord. Sukadev Goswami did not say that the king should hear about the direct transcendental pastimes of the Lord. The time was very short, and naturally Sukadev Goswami could have gone directly to the 10th canto to make a shortcut of the whole thing, as generally done by the professional reciters. But neither the king nor the great speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam jumped up like the organizers of Bhagavatam. Both of them proceeded systematically so that both future readers and hearers might take lessons from the example of the procedure of reciting Srimad Bhagavatam. Those who are under the control of the external energy of the Lord, or in other words, those who are in the material world, must first of all know how the external energy of the Lord is working under the direction of the Supreme Personality, and afterwards one may try to enter into the activities of his internal energy. The mundaners are mostly worshippers of Durga Devi, the external energy of Krishna, but they do not know that Durga Devi is but the shadow energy of the Lord. Behind her astonishing display of material workings is the direction of the Lord as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 9.10. The Brahma Samhita affirms that Durga Shakti is working by the direction of Govinda, and without his sanction, the powerful Durga Shakti cannot move even a blade of grass. Therefore, the neophyte devotee, instead of jumping at once to the platform of transcendental pastimes presented by the internal energy of the Lord, may know how great the Supreme Lord is by inquiring about the process of his creative energy. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita also, descriptions of the creative energy and the Lord's hand in it are explained, and the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita has warned the neophyte devotees to be seriously on guard against the pitfall of neglecting knowledge about Krishna in regard to how great he is. Only when one knows Lord Krishna's greatness can one firmly put one's unflinching faith in him. Otherwise, like the common man, even the great leaders of men will mistake Lord Krishna for one of the main demigods, or a historical personality, or a myth only. The transcendental pastimes of the Lord in Vrindavana or even at Dwarka are relishable for persons who have already qualified themselves in advanced spiritual techniques, and the common man may be able to attain to such a plane by the gradual process of service and enquiries, as well shall see in the behavior of Maharaja Parikshit. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. The Prabhupada ki jai.
Right.
Wonderful report. So, Parshit Maharaj is asking questions, and here the translation. I beg to know from you how the personality Godhead, by his personal energies, created these phenomenal universes as they are, which are inconceivable even to the great demigods. So, the purport Srila Prabhupada talks about. See, Parishit Maharaj could have asked, please tell me, what did Lord Krishna did in Vrindavan? What did Lord Krishna did with the gopis? What did Srimati Radharani did? Could have asked that question. So today's world, the people are talking about that. But Parishit Maharaj asked, tell me how Lord is created. That's why Prabhupada is always say that, instead of going to Ras Leela, is go to Kurukshetra Leela. Because what what Lord did in Kurukshetra is equally potent than Ras Leela. Because that Ras Leela, ordinary person cannot understand. I mean, today we were discussing in another class. My tiny brain cannot understand Krishna's those pastimes, especially the dealing with the gopis. Because my tiny brain is always think in the human point of view. I will not be able to think in Krishna's point of view or the transcendental point of view or the gopis' point of view. That's why Prabhupada says that don't even read 10th canto. Just read up to 9th canto, understand, try to understand and practice in your life. That's enough. And 10th canto, Prabhupada says Krishna book, enough. Read that story. Because understand 10th canto. More than that, 10th canto, read 2nd canto. Second canto, where Parishit Maharaj is asking questions, Sukadeva Goswami is explaining how the creation happens. What is the greatness of Krishna? That's what we need to understand. When that is understood, everything is taken care. Once one great film producer came to Srila Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, I want to make a movie out in Bhagavatam. Prabhupada said, yeah, very good. What movie you want to give? He said, I'll make a movie from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhupada, you rascal, go and read 1st canto to 10th canto, then come to me, sir. Don't even bother to read 10th canto, because you will not understand, you will unnecessarily confuse people. So that's why we need not worry about the other pastime of the Lord, but simply understand what Krishna did in creation. That's why Prabhupada says the question of creation is also one of such an inquisitive made the right person. Right person asking the right question. Perfect answer, perfect question, perfect answer. Parishit Maharaj is the student. Sukadeva Goswami is the spiritual master. And right question, right answer. And of course, later the whole, question answer goes. Prabhupada quoting from Janmadhyasya. So the first sloka itself, how, the glories of Krishna is given. So in the Prabhupada says different energies creates this phenomenal world. Krishna's internal energy, external energy, and how he creates this material world, spiritual world. Then Prabhupada talking about 9.10. Mayadhyakshena prakrite syate sacharacharam hetunenena kaunteya jagat viparivartate. So says that the material nature, which is by one of my energies working under my direction, O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings, under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. So Krishna is very clear, saying that everything happens my adhyakshena, under my control, my supervision. It's very clear. But at the same time, he is beyond that. He is not part of it. That's the understanding. So he is not inside that. Everything is managed by him. So Prabhupada says that even person like Lord Brahma, Shiva, Indra, and many demigods are sometimes bewildered. We have a case of Brahmaji, Brahma himself got confused. How can be boy? This boy can be Krishna. How can be boy can be Supreme Lord? So that's the pastimes are there. So Indra was, bewildered. So there are so many devatas bewildered. So that's the Prabhupada say, Bhagavad Gita, one can compare the long duration of, we discussed earlier also, Brahma, Brahma, Bhuvana, Loka. So including Brahma, everybody has to give up the right. But Brahma's time will be 100 years, 311 trillion, 40 billion years. But in front of them, my life is very tiny, tiny. So, but still, I need to understand what is the greatness of Brahma. And if the Brahma is such a great person, and such an unlimited number of Brahmas serving Krishna. So now we can imagine how great is Krishna. Ananta Brahmandas coming from Mahavishnu's the pores, hair pores. And each Brahmanda there is one Brahma. So that is produced by Krishna. So then we understand how great the personality is. Prabhupada quoting from Brahma Samhita, Ishvaraha Parama Krishnaha, Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadi Radhir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karana. He is the Sarva Karana Karana. He is the cause of all causes. Everything coming from him. He is the beginning. He is the end. There is nobody beyond that. So that's why he's Sanatana. Like Jiva is also Sanatana. So, but ordinary people cannot understand. Avajanati ma mudha manushitanum ashitam. Krishna says, when I arrive, when I incarnate, when I come in this human body, people will not understand. People don't understand. So that's why, Prabhupada also quoting from the 11th. So he says, fools deride me when I descend in this human form. They do not know my transcendent nature of Supreme Lord, all that be. So Krishna himself saying, people will not understand. Even today, there are, millions of people, they don't even bother to understand or they don't understand it. So, but his body and soul is not different. Is same. There is, like my body is different, my soul is different. Like, of course, that's not my soul. I'm the soul. So, and my body, they are not the same. But Krishna is not like that. Krishna is same. So Maharaj Parikshit did not ask a spiritual master Sukadeva Goswami narrate the Lord's pastime in Vrindavan. Prabhupada makes that point. So he did not ask those questions. He wanted to hear the glories of Krishna. And systematically, ask question, understand. That's why Prabhupada says that we should study Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam systematically, scrutinizingly, step by step to understand, then progress in that. So finally, Prabhupada says here, Chaitanya Charitamrita has to warn the neophyte devotees to seriously guard against the pitfall of neglecting knowledge of Krishna. So take up Krishna consciousness seriously, practice it, then our life will be successful. I will stop here. Devotees can share comments, questions, realizations. Please, who want to start? Uma Shankar Prabhu will start from the other side. No? Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So the main aim of the devotee is to completely understand the teachings of the acharyas and to have the love towards the Godhead. Sri Krishna. So instead of getting in deep into another kinds of philosophy, it is better to follow the Bhakti Yoga process. And it is always better to read the all the scriptures in a step-by-step phase. So first we have to start from the first canto, and later on we have to move on to the step-by-step. It's not jump to whatever other people tell. This is the canto 10 directly, and also we should be hearing it from the person Bhagavatas. So we should hear from the only from the pure devotees. It's rest of the paid Bhagavatam reciters who do the Bhagavata Sapta. They actually we are hearing it from the serpents. So like, it's like that thing, the poison thing. So that is the thing. Take care, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Shri Mataji, anything on that?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranams. So as we hear more about Krishna, our darkness of our ignorance goes out of us. Our contamination is removed as we hear more and do devotional service. So how Sukdev Goswami cleared Maharaja Parikshit's ignorance, likewise we devotees should remove the contamination from others by preaching about Krishna. And Parikshit Maharaj begs to know how the personality of Godhead by his personal energies creates these universes and which are inconceivable even to the great demigods. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita very clearly that everything is his creation and everything is created by him and everything is moving according to his will. Durga Devi is the shadow of the Lord and all the demigods are doing duties according to the will of the Lord. So the whole creation is by Lord's direction. Only intelligent people who surrenders to the Lord only can understand. The non-devotees cannot understand anything. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Sumit Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, Prabhupada writes here like hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is like receiving an injection. So, injection actually works only when it is administered by a qualified doctor, and there is a process like it must be pure and properly given. Otherwise, it has no effect or may even cause harm. Similarly, the transcendental topics of the Lord is also immediately and deeply acts when heard, and only from a speaker who is free from material contamination, and by a listener who is sincere and submissive. So, by Maharaj Parikshit's transformation, it is proved actually, and professional recitation has no transforming power. So, because the professional reciters speak for either for livelihood or for prestige, they cater to a karmkandi audience seeking piety, money, or enjoyment. So do not live the teachings they speak. So because of that, there is no transformation. So this kind of hearing remains intellectual, ritualistic sentiment or entertainment, but not liberating. Another thing is real hearing removes ignorance by experience. So true devotional hearing is not theoretical. Its result is experienced directly. Just as darkness disappears when light is present, hunger disappears when food is eaten. Similarly, a sincere hearer, uh, he feels ignorance gradually vanishing, and he gains clarity, detachment, and attraction for Krishna. And what is the qualification for that is faith in both Krishna and Guru. So the verse is given Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Only unto those great souls who have unflinching faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master all the imports of Vedic knowledge automatically revealed. So that means faith in Krishna alone is not enough, faith in Guru alone is not enough, but both must be equal and absolute. So we should have faith in Krishna as well as our Guru as well. Only then do the teachings reveal themselves, penetrates the heart, and it becomes the realized knowledge. For the next verse, inquiry about creation is natural and necessary. So it is not just an ordinary curiosity by Maharaj Parikshit. It is a proper inquiry of an intelligent devotee who already knows that Everything emanates from the Supreme Lord. That verse is given Janmadhyasya Pita from Srimad Bhagavatam, first verse. He's not questioning who created the universe, but how the Lord's energy works. That is his question. So, second is point is creation is never automatic. So, but it seems like if you see electricity appears to be automatic, but behind there is an engineering going on. It comes from the powerhouse. So similarly, material nature works, but under the supervision of Krishna. Maya Dakshina Prakriti. That verse is there. So 9.10. So material energy is not independent. It is one of the Lord's many energies, and even the greatest intellects are limited. So even if you see like this, beings like Brahma, Shiva, Indra are sometimes bewildered by the Lord's creative power. So Brahma himself concludes that Krishna is the cause of all causes. So if Brahma is admitting this, then it's how to what we can see of the human beings to who consider Krishna as ordinary. And Krishna is misunderstood because he appeared in the human form. Then people deride him. They consider him at the most very powerful individual, demigod or a myth, but they do not accept them as God. So this is condemned in Bhagavad Gita 9.11 when Krishna is saying, "Fool derides me when I appeared in human form." Uh, yes, bro, that's all from my side.
Udavadi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
No.
Yes, Parikshit asked Sukhdev Goswami whatever doubts he had. So, like, who am I? We should question, even we have to question who am I and who is Lord. Then, when we dwell into the question, we'll know that we are Dasa of the Supreme Lord, and Supreme Lord is the ultimate truth. We have to reach Him. How means like by detachment and by developing bhakti on listening to the Lord's stories, Lord's Leelas, and Srimad Bhagavatam, then we'll develop automatically bhakti and we will be attracted to Supreme Lord, because ultimately we have to go to the Lord's abode. And how means we should hear attentively, not just hear, but we should grasp the content. Only then the darkness is removed, and Shravanam, Kirtan, and all should happen, and chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And like how a doctor, if he prescribes a particular medicine, we take it and believe that it would cure. So we need not know the components of it, but we still take it. So that's how, like, from a bona fide spiritual master, we have to read Srimad Bhagavatam, and we then automatically the darkness and the doubts that we have about life gets cleared. And the more time I spend in hearing, the more purification happens. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Saurabh Prabhu. Okay. Reena Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Lord Sri Krishna glories acts like medicine. So Srila Prabhupada ji says, Sri Krishna, that his speeches slowly destroys the darkness. We need to hear the glories of Lord Sri Krishna. Shravana and Kirtana needs to happen continuously. Krishna's glories acts like medicines, much like the food satisfies a hunger and brings pleasure simultaneously without separate. So Bhagavatam should be not just heard, it should be drank through the years. Maharaja Parikshit, while facing his death, experienced his transformative effect through Sukadev's Goswami's speech. So the transformation happens through action. The acts will be felt when like for example that you gave on the hunger man, when he's given food to eat, it will satisfy him. But the more and more we get involved through attentive hearing, helps us get positive enlightenment. You also mentioned about the Parikshit Maharaja asked about how Sri Krishna was created, and Sukhdev Goswami ji mentioned about how the Krishna's creation happened, like the right person asking the right question. Maharaja Parikshit asked Sukhdev Goswami, and Sri Krishna is the cause of all the causes, and he's the beginning and he's the end. And people who do not understand or do not bother to understand because of their own thought process, Parsit Maharaj says one needs to know or more by understanding, studying, and practicing the glories of the Lord Shri Krishna. So spreading the Krishna consciousness helps us to know more about Lord Shri Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Mariappan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Whenever contamination reduces, spiritual knowledge is gained. I must hear attentively without prejudices. Shravan and Kirtan should happen continuously. Topics of Lord given by spiritual master removes my contamination and gains knowledge. Bhagavatam must be absorbed through ears. Message of spiritual literature must be shared as it is without deviations. My ignorance will gradually disappear with attentive hearing. If a person is hearing long period and no transformation, then one must understand hearing is not attentive. When whatever Leelas performed in Kurukshetra by Supreme Lord is highly potential, and material energy under the control of Supreme Lord creates all creation. And if one Brahma of one Brahmanda, then what to speak of multiple Brahmas created by Supreme Lord in multiple universes. It's beyond our understanding. That I must be clear. And Acharya repeatedly warns not to jump over cantos as we are likely to misunderstand. Creation is not automatic. Supreme Lord Krishna is there behind. That much I understood in addition to all points shared. Hare Krishna.
Lakshmi Mataji, anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you.
Asha Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Krishna.
First, questions which we have to ask, or I have to ask myself, who am I? Who is God? I know that I am the Dasa of the Supreme. And then that would give us the knowledge. To get this knowledge, we have to hear attentively, hear about the topics of the Supreme. Topics of the Supreme given by a devotee can work like an injection to a patient. Simply hearing Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita should be drunk by our ears. By hearing, enlightenment should happen, transformation should happen. Then it is useful. Along with that, Achar Prachar should happen. Our my tiny mind cannot understand Krishna's Leela with the gopis. So first, what I have to understand is how the world is created. I should try to know about the creation first. And simply take Krishna conscious and move in Bhakti, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you. We'll stop here. Vancha kalpatarabhyasya kripasinabhyevacha. Patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namah. Ananta koti vaishnavvrinda ki jai. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. See you on Monday. As usual.
Thank you. And